How's everybody doing? Today we are looking at a 24-hour ration pack, British, menu number 13. This menu is from an iconic time when they were serving them in boxes. Now, as we see, this is a 24-hour ration pack. Let's get a look at the box markings. It's pretty unique. We have our nutritional information. This is a 4,000 calorie minimum meal. They often go over that. This menu is a little light compared to the other menus. Some of them have 5 or 6 or 7 components. This one, I believe, has 2. Property of the Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Defense authorized use only. They give you instructions on how to burn the boxes, first aid, and yeah, you even got a pretty cool range card here. So, pretty interesting way to utilize the ration in the field. One thing I just want to look at right here are the date codes. Now, if you can see, we have a 24PD0712. 24 designates that this is a 24-hour menu. PD is the packing line. And then 0712. Now, I'm not sure if the 07 is a date code or a month code. From online, it's saying it's a date code. So this is the 7th day of 2012, but I'm not really sure. So if you know in the comments, please put it in the comment. Is this a date code or a month code? So let's get into this. I'm pretty excited. Let's see what we got on the menu today. Today we'll be using our Spyderco Police. Absolutely love this knife. It's ridiculously sharp. So, all right. And boy, they really do pack this stuff in there. We have our accessory pack. All right, we have a 50-gram pack of oat digestive biscuits. We have an S1 sports drink, raspberry flavored, cherry beverage powder, 45 grams. These things are great. I absolutely loved how they put a pack of napkins in here. 3-ply, 10 pieces. We have another drink, black currant, caramel flavored instant hot cocoa. Then we have a tropical. We have a mixed nut pack. That is 75 grams. Fruit and oat snack bar, 50 grams. We have a fruit pocket, fruit puree, and this one is the green cap, so it is apple, kiwi, passion fruit. We have a vine fruit mix. This is 75 grams. We have a pack of boiled sweets, and these are grapefruit flavor. We have a cereal bar, cranberry. And we have a fruit bar, blueberry. This is 25 grams, and the cereal bar is 50 grams. Wow, look at this. We have a retort pouch of beans and bacon in tomato sauce, 300 grams. Then we have an Orfo 85-gram light tuna in mayonnaise, made in Thailand. Interesting. Then we have a Bridgeford maple syrup bun, shelf stable, 100 grams. Orfo 100 gram chicken masiman potato, 300 grams. Then we have, I'm not sure if this is Orfo, basil, tomato and basil soup, 300 grams. So wow, we have a beans and bacon and tomato sauce as our breakfast, and then we have another main of tomato and basil soup, 300 grams. Produced in the UK for Vestly Foods UK. All right, and then in the very bottom, we have our, oh, hold on, almost forgot, Tabasco red, and it doesn't look discolored at all. A little light, but light is always better than dark. All right, so let's look at our 24-hour ration menu. So meal pouches, bacon and beans, tomato and basil, chicken masiman potato with maple syrup bun. The snacks are the fruit puree, kiwi passion fruit apple, light tuna with mayo, cranberry bar, fruit and oat snack bar nut mix, blueberry, digestive biscuits, vine fruit, and then grapefruit sweets. The drinks are isotonic energy drink raspberry. We got a cherry drink, a black currant drink, a tropical drink, and a hot chocolate caramel. Love to see so many drinks in your menu. That is absolutely amazing. Now, sun-dries, which are considered the essentials on the ration packs, the accessories. We got beverage whitener 4. We got a Tabasco red, menthol spearmint, strong mint, or peppermint dental chewing gum. We got 2 instant coffees, 4 sugars, wet wipes 2. We have 2 tea bags, tissues, a spoon, 6 water purification tablets, and a resealable poly bag. This looks pretty great. We're going to trade this up. I'm going to divide this into breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then we're going to enjoy this together. Stand by. All right, we're back. This is breakfast. We have our oat digestive biscuits. We have our imperial nut mix. We have a blueberry fruit bar with our kiwi and apple passion fruit mix, fruit puree, alcohol wet wipe, our V6 dental care sugar-free chewing gum, bottle of our red Tabasco, some boiled sweets, and our main bacon and beans in tomato sauce. So let's look at the ingredients here on our ingredients list for the bacon and beans in tomato sauce, 300 grams. We have beans, diced smoked bacon, pork, water, salt, smoke flavoring, stabilizers, tomato puree, wheat flour, vegetable oil flavorings, and a mixture of milk and gluten and whey and barley. Okay, that looks pretty solid. Let's start getting everything plated up. Oh, I'm sorry, our Thai Fu classic black tea. So we're going to start with that first. I'm going to be putting 2 sugars and 2 creamers in there. And if you're wondering, why do we have a Canadian IMP out on the table? That is because my last 2 videos were Canadian IMPs, and wasn't sure if I should continue doing them because I do have a decent stockpile of them. But I did a survey, and of course, this British 24-hour operational ration pack won by a slim margin. So I'm going to be giving this away. Menu number 11, chicken and vegetable stew. This is a 2022 production. And yeah, I'll give you the details in the end of the video, how you're going to win this. Stand by. All right, so let's get the rest of this stuff out. Not sure if I should do both sugars or just one. We'll put both. Okay, we got the tea set up. Let's get the Imperial Nut Mix. That looks pretty good. The biscuit. They smell pretty good. Gotta admit, I was a little concerned about this being a 2012, but let's see how they look. Yeah, they look pretty good. There's a slight crack in them. Smells good. Very good. All right, the ingredients on the fruit bar. Fruit bar with blueberry ingredients, 95% fruit. Fruit, 96.5%. Dates, 73%. Raisins, 20%. Okay. Everything else is smeared out, so I really can't make it out. And it's a product of Denmark. Very nice. Kind of bougie. All right, let's open up a couple of these sweets. They seem a little soft, so I'm suspecting that this meal has seen a little heat, but I'm not really concerned. I think it's going to be great. Yep, we got one. Very sticky. But they don't seem too hard. They actually seem a little bit on the soft side. Two. All right, let's knead up our packet of fruit. All right, and let's actually put that on the tray for everyone to see. Really unique little packs of fruit. I like this. Great for sticking in your pocket. Nice portion. There we go. And let's see, on the green cap, we got ingredients: apples, kiwi, sugar, passion fruit, banana, water. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Best before date is 2015. And I'm just looking if we have, yes, this is another Denmark product. Very nice. All right, let's get this bacon and beans out. And we're just going to slice it. Nice. That's so satisfying, isn't it? Wow. Wow, that really smells inviting. This is the first time I'm actually having British bacon and beans. I mean, we have all had beans and frankfurters, I guess, but this is a proper British breakfast staple, and I am actually really looking forward to it. Most people aren't a fan of beans and bacon, but I actually find it kind of appealing. Let me know what you think. Does this sound pretty good? All right, this is looking really good. Let's get our tea going here. Wow, that tea looks really good too. This is very impressive, I have to say. For the British, bravo. You really know how to feed your troops, and this looks like a really proper meal. All right, let's see what we have here. We have some peanuts, some cashews, some almonds. I'm not sure what this is. This looks like also an almond. It's just slightly discolored. Yeah, the peanuts look like, yep, extremely, almost to the point of raw. But they really have a unique taste to them when they're not roasted. They got a good chew to them. They're kind of soft. Not much of a crunch. But I have to tell you, I do really like them like this. Has a very unique peanut flavor. The dry roasted peanuts tend to be thirst-provoking, but when they're very under roasted, just barely cooked, this is really nice. They're not salted whatsoever. I think what these are almonds that have also been deshelled and lightly either boiled or roasted. I'm not sure, but they really do taste good. Let's try an almond. This is definitely different. This is more traditionally roasted. It has a firmer texture to it, and it's quite nice, but you don't get a lot of them. All right, and the cashew. Yep. Very soft. Just almost on the point of being raw. Very nice. I like that. Has some good moisture to it. And not very hard at all, but it has a firm chew to it. I could eat these all day. These things are great. We have our digestive oat biscuits. They're really good. It's almost like a cereal biscuit. It's not very firm, kind of cross between a graham cracker and a cereal biscuit. They're very lightly airy, but not too airy. And they don't have a very firm bite to them. They do break when you bite them, nice and easy. Kind of floury notes, but this is really nice. You can tell there's probably 3 or 4 different type grains in here. That's why it's considered a digestive biscuit, because more healthy option than just straight flour. But that is really good. I like that. Let's have some Taifu tea. That is a really high quality tea. I wouldn't expect anything other in a British ration. All right, let's see this. Pretty soft. Has a really nice smell of blueberries and figs. Wow, that is really pleasant. Nice and soft. A very satisfying chew. But it's not overpowering. After 2 or 3 chews, it really starts breaking up. You could taste the figs. I taste strawberries. Definitely blueberries. Very natural and very satisfying flavor profile. That is really good. All right, let's look at our fruit squeeze puree. Now, this looks like this has discolored a little, but that doesn't always mean that's bad. I'm not smelling anything off. All right, let's give it a try. That's not bad at all. You can tell that it's not fresh, but there's no weird aftertaste. I'm not getting any kind of hints of foul, but it's not fresh. And that's the only reason this is probably looking like that. This probably was much brighter, but that's okay. The kiwi is giving this a little bit of an acidic flavor profile, but it's very smooth. I'm getting the apples. It almost feels like I'm getting some pineapples. Very citrusy, very tropical, and very acidic. But it's nice. I gotta say, if I was just sucking this thing out of the pouch, I wouldn't care what it looks like. It tastes pretty good. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, we have a very rich and thick beans with very nice chunks of substantial size of a piece of bacon, I must say. Let's actually, okay, very nice smoky flavor. The beans are kind of soft. They're on the soft side, but I expect that for the age of this meal. Let's give it a nice shot here. That is absolutely divine. This is like gourmet breakfast. Beans and bacon out of a retort pouch. Can you imagine eating this in the field? That bacon is such high quality. Let's give it a little sprinkle of some Tabasco. Yeah, that Tabasco gives it a nice vinegar profile, a little bit of heat. This is fabulous. I haven't had beans in a while with bacon, and I'm so glad I picked this menu. This is really good. Let's throw a little more Tabasco on there. Yep. We put about 3/4 of the bottle. I don't want to drown the flavor out with just vinegar and heat because this is very tasty. The beans have a good profile. There's no aftertaste. They're a little bit on the soft side, but again, considering this is a 2012, very good flavor profile. The tomato sauce, not very acidic. It goes perfect with the beans. And that bacon, look at that. Look at that chunk. That is premium. That's not processed. That's quality bacon pork. Not that much fat. That's amazing. Yep. We're going to dig in on this. I don't want this getting cold. Let's try something here. That was pretty good, but it wasn't optimal. I think the biscuits go more with the tea, and I think this is perfect. You don't need to add anything to this. This is a fine, proper meal. Wow, I'm ignoring the rest of this food because this is really so good. I mean, I get it, just bacon and beans, but the flavors going on here, this is something. And this would be perfect in the morning to get you going. Nice and warm. Wow, super filling, great flavor. That was absolutely fabulous. That never had a chance. All right, we're back. Had to take a little break. That was very satisfying and filling, but very heavy and very savory. So I'm really liking these peanuts, how under roasted they are. Fruit puree is very nice. Reminds me of baby food. But you're getting your fiber and your vitamins, and it rounds out the meal nicely. And I really do like the convenience of that pouch. You can throw that in your pocket real quick. Thai Fu tea. That is an outstanding tea. All right, now, when I opened this up, actually when I took it out of the box, I was really kind of first confused because this feels very soft. And I thought this might have actually been toothpaste. But it is not. It actually says chewing gum on it. So let's actually see what's going on here, because this is very soft. Yeah. At some point, I'm guessing that this case saw a little heat, because look at that. That's supposed to be the chewing gum, and it's completely broken down. So I'm sure it's still good to chew, but I'm just not going to partake in it right now because I still have other things, and maybe we'll get to it at the very end. So our sweet digestive breakfast biscuits, these are really a treat. These are really good. And I guess it's good enough time to break this out because my hands are now sticky from that gum. So let's check out this alcohol-free antibacterial wipe. Now, I'm guessing this did see heat because this is dry. This is completely dry. So let's moisten it up a little. There we go. Now it feels right. Okay, and it's a decent towel. I mean, look at the sides. It's a fiber towel. It's not paper. It's a fiber towel. Pretty strong if you pull on it that way. Pull on it this way, it kind of gets weak. So that's okay. Does the job. I'm going to finish these biscuits and these nuts because these are really good. Let's get a little more. This blueberry fruit bar is really unique. I've never had anything like it. That is fantastic. And that goes so well with the nuts. We still got almost a half a bottle of Tabasco sauce, so we're going to save that for our next meal. I'm going to finish these 3 digestive biscuits off because these are really good. This I'm going to finish off with the nuts. Let's get a look at these boiled sweets. They're a little soft. Now, I don't know if these were originally hard, and since they saw heat, they've kind of broken down a little. But you could see how soft these are. Look at this. Yeah, I think the heat broke them down. But the flavor, it's like a peach. Yeah, I think this is a peach fruit, almost like a hard candy, but it's now chewy. It's almost like a taffy. And that is absolutely fantastic. I don't care if they broke down. These are freaking ridiculous. And it's great that they gave you so many of them. Again, my fingers are sticky. And this is working out perfectly with this white. Okay, well, that's breakfast. I'm going to finish off the tea with these biscuits, the fruit bar, and these nuts, because these nuts are really good the way they're underdone. That is actually fantastic. It's not thirst-provoking in any way, and it really is a pleasure. You're getting all the flavor and oils from the nut, and that's a nice snack. All right, well, let me know what you think about this. We're going to wait a couple hours, and we're going to plate up lunch, and we'll see how that works out. Stand by. All right, we're back. This is going to be lunch, and it is looking pretty good. Now, we're going to have the vine fruit mix, which is basically just raisins. I did think about this, and I did save some of the peanuts from breakfast because I think they're going to go so well with the raisins, and quite frankly, this is a lot of raisins. So I'm going to divide this in half, consume half of this now, add some peanuts to it, and then put the other half of this raisin mix with the nut mix, and then we'll have that as part of a snack in our last meal. So if you're wondering why we have peanuts from breakfast out, that's why. We're having our cranberry cereal bar. We're having light tuna in mayonnaise. This is an 85-gram pack packaged by Orfo. And we have our chicken massiman potato, 300 grams. Now this looks really, really good. And it turns out chicken massiman is a Thai-inspired dish. Let's go over some of the ingredients. It has potato, chicken, water, coconut milk, masimam curry paste, chili, lemongrass, garlic, shallots, shrimp paste, white beans, sugar, sunflower oil, green peas, salt, modified cornstarch, curry powder, mustard powder, coriander powder, turmeric powder, white pepper, paprika, cumin powder, cinnamon, spices. And there is an allergies warning for shrimp and mustard. And this is also produced in Denmark. Very interesting. So let's get this out. It is smoking hot. I boiled it in simmering water for 10 minutes. Isn't that satisfying? And wow, look at that. That is absolutely wow. The smell that comes off that is ridiculously gourmet. People laugh when I say gourmet, but look at this. This is absolutely gourmet. Look at that. That is fabulous. All right, let's get our vine fruit mix out. And like I said, we're only going to use a small portion because it is a lot. And we're going to add some of the nut mix to this to round it out, because I think the nuts and raisins are a perfect mixture. We'll put the rest of that in here for later, and we'll save them. S1 sports drink. This is an isotonic. It just says add 500 mils of water, raspberry flavor, and yeah, this looks pretty good. Raspberry flavored. I'm interested in seeing this, so let's see what this is all about. Wow, what a very sweet and tart smell for that raspberry flavoring. I'm going to go almost a completely full glass, and you can definitely tell that is real sugar because it is like sand on the bottom. We're going to give that a little mix. Let that sit there for a minute, and we'll continue on. I'm curious to see this tuna. All right. This is also by Orfo, packaged in Denmark. We have light tuna. Tuna with light mayonnaise, water, sunflower seed oil, egg yolk, salt, lime juice, cornstarch, tapioca starch, vinegar, salt, thickening agents, white powder, mustard powder. Yeah, this is looking really good. All right, and that is looking pretty good. That's a good looking tuna. Most people get turned off when they see tuna in a retort pouch, but I honestly don't mind it. I enjoy tuna, and it has a very pleasant smell. It doesn't smell off by any way. All right, that has almost completely dissolved and is looking very good. Let's take a look at this tuna. Yeah, this is looking really good. Little discoloration around the edges, but I'm not getting any off smell. It is really looking pretty good. What I'm really surprised about this menu is when you look up potato massaman, it really says it's a Thai-styled dish that has been toned down. A curry-based coconut has been toned down for acceptability in the British menu lineup, and just to be an all-around mild flavored menu. And it says it really pairs well with either a flatbread bread, a tortilla, or plain white rice. And I've seen British rations come with fantastic fluffed rice. Their tortillas aren't bad, so why they wouldn't incorporate this with a white rice or a flatbread or a tortilla? I mean, we certainly have shelf-stable flatbreads, so, and certainly have shelf-stable rice, so why this wouldn't get incorporated in there, I don't know. It seems like it's a no-brainer. You can easily stretch this meal out into so much more by having a tortilla or a flatbread. It would go so well with rice and flatbread, and you would have a really full, large meal for your lunch. All right, we're going to do a Nescafe. This is not the sweet and creamy. This, I believe, is just a regular coffee, freeze-dried. Let's see what it looks like. Yes, wow, and look how dark and rich that coffee looks. And it smells very dark and rich. Let's slide this up for a second here. Clean off our area. And let's get some hot water on this. I'm going to go a very strong cup, not mild. Not putting a lot of water in there because I want a strong cup of coffee. I want to really taste this Nescafe. We're going to use the whole entire 1 tube of sugar. And let's see what it looks like with the creamer in it. Saving the other creamer and sugar for our tea in our final meal. Wow, that's looking really good. And you can definitely tell that's a strong rich, bold coffee because look at the color. It's almost like mud, the color. Not over thinned with the creamer. Probably has just enough sweetness from that sugar. We're done with that water. All right, let's see what this cereal bar looks like. This is a cranberry cereal bar, and that's looking really good. Wow, nice and soft and pliable. And that again is by Orpha. Before we dig into this and I give you my thoughts on this, I wanted to just give you a little information on the giveaway. Again, it's going to be a Menu 11 chicken and vegetable stew of a Canadian IMP. This is from 2022. And I'm not going to open this, but I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of what is actually in here. Now again, when you get it, whoever the winner is, it might be different packed, but what to expect is going to be the chicken and vegetable stew main. It's going to come with either a bread or tortilla, probably the hamburger pane bun or a flatbread tortilla times 2. You're going to get a peanut side and a jam. Hopefully you'll get the raspberry. They're fantastic. You're going to get a chocolate bar and or an exact protein bar. If you're lucky, you'll get both. If not, you'll at least get either the exact bar or the protein bar. I'm sorry, the chocolate bar. Trust me, the exact bar is what you want, but some of the Canadians really do have outstanding chocolate bars. You get a Tabasco. In the pouch, you get your Tic Tacs, your compressed napkins, your paper towel, IMP spoon. You'll get 2 drink mixes, and yeah, that's, I think, everything in there. And since the Canadian IMPs do not come with heaters, they're issued separately, I'm going to also throw in an Orpha outdoor heater. This is a huge pad. I don't believe you are able to get these in the United States. These came from Europe. So if you're going to consume this in outdoors, you already have your solution to warm up your meal. And this bag is big enough and hot enough to put your main, your bread, your peanut butter, your jelly. You could warm up everything in this. Your coffee, if you get a hot beverage bag. Oh, that's right. These also come with beverage bags. So you could probably use the beverage bag to warm up your coffee. So you can have a full, proper, warm meal in the field. And this thing is definitely going to get it hot. So that will be included with the giveaway. So enough about that, and I will give you all the details on the last meal. All right, so let's check this out. Raisins. Wow. Look how huge they are. Those are huge raisins. Very, very good chew. For the age of this meal, I expected these to be hard and crystallized. Excuse me. Hard and crystallized, but these are absolutely ridiculously good. Not overly sweet, but just enough, and the flavor of the raisins are outstanding. Let's see how they pair up with a little bit of a cashew. That's the way to have these. You mix your nut mix and your raisin mix together, and you got an extra large snack which you can stretch out for 2 meals. That is really good. I can't stop eating these. All right. Our cranberry oat cereal bar. Wow. I'm tasting honey, oats, a cereal, cranberries. While this meal was heating up, I kind of suspended the bar over the steam to kind of soften it a little bit. And yeah, wow. Talk about flavors. Look how soft that is. You stick this in your pocket, let it warm up. This thing is freaking ridiculous. All right, coffee time. I need me some coffee. That's good. Very, very strong coffee. Not acidic, but it is very bold. And it's perfect with the 1 sugar and 1 cream. Really curious if I didn't put the cream, because I do enjoy when it's a very high quality coffee, black with sugar. That's good. That actually pairs really nicely with this. Okay, we had our boiled sweets. They did see some heat and they did get soft, but honestly, I really think they're meant to be that way. I don't think it is a hard type candy. I think it's more of a chewy, semi-hard candy that just saw a little heat. These are really good. Let's look at this main dish. We got really nice chunks of potato. We have a really nice curry, coconut-based cream sauce. Let's give that a try by itself. Wow, that is really rich, very light flavors. Let's try some with the potatoes. This thing would have been ridiculous on rice. Ooh, look at the beans. Beans, I believe, green beans. Look at this chunk of chicken. And that's real chicken. That's not processed. That's not machine formed. That's actually whole chunk of chicken. Let's try that. That tastes like that was simmered in this sauce for hours. So soft, yet firm, and has a great chew. The sauce has, you can definitely tell it's a curry sauce, because it does have like a little bite to it, right on the borderline of almost being spicy, but not. I guess, that's curry. Wow, if I was in the field, cold, tired, and hungry, this would put me right to bed. This is so savory and packed with flavor. For a retort pouch meal from 2012, I can only imagine what this tasted like when it was really, really fresh. I almost don't want to put any Tabasco on it because it has already a mild curry kick to it. I'm afraid the vinegar and the Tabasco will offset taste on this, but I'm curious. Let's try. We're not going to put in it. I'm going to put a little dash right here. That vinegar takes away from the delicate flavors of the coconut milk. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't think, if you want heat in your meal, it adds it, but I think the heat overpowers a lot of delicate flavors in this meal. It's not bad with the Tabasco. It really kind of does bring out some of the flavors, but I think with the coconut milk, the chicken, the potatoes, the spices, I think it is already enough flavor and spices going on. I think that just adds a little too much to it. All right, let's try our raspberry isotonic drink. That is insanely delicious. Wow, that is so good. You could easily thin that out to probably another 4 ounces, stretch it, and really still have a decently flavored drink if you were in the field drinking chemically treated water. Get such a pleasant raspberry aroma. And look at that, it's not overly dyed, but it is so savory, and inviting to hydrate. I thought this meal was going to be kind of on the light side, but I'm already starting to feel full. This is very hearty with the potatoes and the chicken and the curry sauce, followed up by a cereal bar. And I still have tuna and nuts. Wow. I thought this was going to be a light meal, but no. Researching the ingredients on this, this apparently is a very iconic meal in Britain. And I can see why now. This would probably make you feel at home if you were a British soldier serving abroad. Now you're having this meal. This is definitely a taste of home. Let's finish up this coffee before it gets cold. That was a fantastic cup of coffee. I can't get over how good this drink is. Very good raspberry flavor. It doesn't feel cheap and artificial. It's not overly sweet, just sweet enough to probably mask the salts and the other minerals they put, because it is an isotonic drink. It's not just a regular fruit drink. All right, let's finish this main up. I can't get over how good this is. And considering this is a 2012, we're going on almost 12 years old. Now, I'm sure this probably was stored in perfect conditions, but this is freaking fabulous, where people say, oh, you can't store these that long. They go rancid, they go bad. You store them in a cool, dark place that has no temperature shift. This is what you get, a fantastic meal. And surprisingly, that curry does have a little bite to it. It's not very spicy, but it almost is on the borderline of kind of like tingly. Very good for potatoes, chicken. Perfect spice profile. This is gourmet. Retort pouch gourmet. That was absolutely amazing. Okay, let's finish off our cereal bar. Oh, coffee's gone already. Absolutely love on these British ORPs how they give you so many drinks, multiple teas, multiple coffees, isotonic drink, fruit drinks. It just keeps going. I mean, that is absolutely perfect. And these are fantastic with the raisins. With the nuts not being overly roasted, almost to the point where almost semi-raw, they're perfect to go with the raisins. I'm just curious. Let's throw a couple peanuts and raisins in that sauce and see how they mix up. That actually goes nice. Let's clean off our spoon. And let's get some final thoughts on this tuna. Looks really good. I like my tuna a little more wet, but that will do. Wet with mayonnaise, I mean. But let's get get a tiny bite for a first impression, just in case there's anything wrong with this. Okay, it smells good. I'm not getting any off smells. I taste pepper. I taste a little bit of chili flavor, a little bit of lime. You can tell this has been in a retort pouch for a good minute because normally tuna has a kind of chewy bite to it, but this has broken down completely, probably because of the acidity of the limes. Tuna has a really good flavor to it. It's pleasant to eat. No overpowering fishy taste. Not dry at all. That's actually really good for a quick pick-me-up snack. Very refreshing. If we had an extra pack of biscuits, that would have looked really nice on the biscuits. I'm really surprised about that tuna. That is refreshingly tasty. Okay. Let's open up one of these sweets again. They're tough to get open. They are. There we go. See what I mean? It looks like it's a boiled sweet, but just soft enough where it can break. I'm not sure if that's because they've kind of broken down from heat, or they're meant to be a semi-solid candy. That's a really nice snack. A little sugar, pick me up. Let's see what our gum looks like since our last one was completely melted. All right, this one looks like they're kind of stuck together too. No, okay, no. Give it a chew. Wow, that's kind of deceiving. It looks like it's a candy shell, but when you bite into it, there's absolutely no crunch. You could tell the gum base is a quality gum base because it's got a good chew. It doesn't break down. This will definitely freshen your breath. The mint isn't overpowering, but it is enough just to get whatever you had in your mouth cleaned out and get a new kind of minty, fresh feeling in your mouth. That's really good. And the 2 pieces is just enough to have a decent sized piece of gum without feeling like it's too small. Let's see how our antibacterial alcohol wipe is. Yeah, this one's dry too. Seems like this case saw a little heat, or due to its age, it's just aged, it's just aged a little bit. Put a little water on that, and that towel gets nice and moist really fast. All right, perfect. That gum is really refreshing. I like that. All right, well, we're done here. I'm going to finish off the tuna in a little bit. Kind of full right now, and it's very thick. I'm going to finish off my isotonic raspberry. We got no more coffee. I'll have these boiled sweets later. Apricot candies or peach. I'm not sure what they are, but they are some type of peach or apricot. All right, well, if you're still here, let me know what you thought about this. If you have served, if you're British or you had Massiman potato, let me know what you think about this one. Are the flavors in line with the traditional menu? Would you eat the tuna 12 years old in a retort pouch? I don't know. It looks really good to me. What's your thought on this? stand by for the next menu in a couple hours. All right, we're back. We are finally to our last meal of our 24-hour British menu number 13 from 2012 operational ration pack in a box. This is what it looks like. You can see there's nothing left in it, and it is still quite the spread. These meals are truly impressive. We have our tomato and basil soup, 300 grams. Let's see the ingredient list on this. Tomatoes, water, onion, tomato puree, vegetable oil, whipped cream, sugar, modified cornstarch, and lemon juice and black pepper. Wow. This definitely looks good. We have our leftover raisin and nut mix. We have a fruit and oat snack bar, 50 grams. We still have some of our peach or apricot candy, soft candy. We have a Kenko smooth coffee, freeze-dried instant coffee. We have a caramel flavored instant hot chocolate drink, 42 grams. This mixed with 300 milliliters of hot water, and a Thai Fu classic black tea, which we're going to use the sugar and the creamer in. What a spread, right? And on top of it, we still have 3 leftover drinks, which I'm not going to consume because I'm already dealing with 3 drinks right here. But if you need to hydrate with this 24-hour menu, all your drinks are covered because, as you could see, I didn't lack any drinks in any of the menus, and we still have drinks left over. We have our V6 dental gum. We still have our 6 aqua tabs, which are good for 1 liter of water each, and we still have 6. We still have our extreme matches, 5 of them. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Now, I know everyone's been waiting for the details on the giveaway for this Canadian IMP vegetable stew, menu number 11 from 2022. And like I said, I'll be including a flameless ration heater to go with this because these are not inside. They're issued separate. This is not a Canadian IMP issued flameless ration heater, but I think it is just as good because it is an Orifo, and this thing is gangster on how hot it gets. So the details on the Canadian IMP giveaway will be on April 29th. This video will go live. 7 days later, on May 6th, I'm going to use a comment picker to select the winner. Now, a couple things to enter into this contest. You have to be subscribed to the channel, you have to like the video, and you have to comment on the video. Okay, so if you fulfill those 3 requirements, you'll be in the running. I will be checking against the winners on who is subscribed and who is not, so subscribe, like, and comment. And on May 6th, I will close the comment section down. I will select a commenter using a program. It'll be totally random. I will select first, second, and third place. And on May 7th, I will make a short video announcing the winner for the Canadian IMP. The winners will be announced in that video, so stay tuned. Activate your bells on your notifications so you see the video when it's posted. Once I post a video, the first placed winner has 24 hours to reach out to me in my email. Once I receive the email, we'll make arrangements to getting you your Canadian IMP. If I don't hear from you within 24 hours, I will select the next person, and I will let them know that they need to send me their information because they won the Canadian IMP. Again, if I don't hear from them in 24 hours, then the third place winner will get the prize. Okay, so that's everything for the Canadian IMP giveaway. Let's get into actually enjoying our meal now. So let's first make our drinks, since we have so many of them. We're going to start with the caramel hot cocoa. Now this does feel like it clumped up a little bit, so let's actually see what it looks like. Actually, no, it didn't clump up. It was just kind of vacuum packed, and it kind of just settled. All right. Wow, that smells pretty good. It did clump up, but we're not worried about that. All right, and it does say it contains milk, so we will definitely be careful when we drink this. All right, I think that's a pretty decent amount. Now the coffee, I'm not going to put a lot of water in it, because I want a very small, strong cup. And that definitely looks like a strong coffee. And the tea, this is absolutely great tea. All right, let's get our sugar in there. And let's get our creamer in there. Let's get our liquid in there. Look at that, perfect. All right, let's put all this stuff over to the side. And let's mix this up, see how it came out. Yep, this looks like this is reconstituting perfectly. See how our coffee came out? That is looking like a very strong cup of coffee. Almost like a slight espresso. Okay, and let's see what our tea looks like. Tea is looking really fine. All right, that will steep while we prepare the rest of our meal. All right, our fruit and oat bar. While I was boiling these mains, I did put the maple syrup bun in the water, and towards the end, about the 2-minute mark, I threw this in there just to soften it up. It really does soften it up, wake up the flavors. Let's see what this maple looks like. Bridgeford product. Yep. Actually looks like a cinnamon bun. Yep, that smells like a cinnamon bun. Okay, and now for the star of the show. All right, and our super sharp knife. Perfect. that. I already see herbs in there. I don't know if you could see that. Look at that. That is looking really fine. Wow, that looks good. And attaching a whiff of that. Look at all the herbs in the bottom still. That smells really good. That's going to go fantastic with that. All right, what should we try first? Clean off our blade. Put that on the side. All right, let's try our tea first. Tea is very good. Such a high quality black tea, and I expect nothing else from the Brits. Let's see how this comes up. This is still very clumpy. I suspect that if this meal saw some heat during storage, that this might be something that goes first. So let's give that a try. Yeah, there's a little stale after smell on this, but let's give it a try. No, I'm not getting any hint of rancid milk powder. And let's try our coffee. Wow, that's a very strong coffee. A little bit bitter, but it might be because I made it so strong, but smooth. Yeah, that's because I made it so strong, but that's fine. We got so many drinks here, I didn't want to fill up just on liquid. Let's take a look here at our cinnamon bun. Okay, I'm telling you, wake up your bread products, warm them up. Yep, maple, brown sugar. I recognize that from American MREs. But that should go really nice with this tomato soup. The soup is pretty thick. It's not watery. It does have some thickness to it. It's coating the bowl very nicely. You can see there's some oils in there, probably from the herbs. I see a lot of basil, oregano, probably some Italian spices. Let's give that a try. Yeah, that's definitely a high quality soup. All right, let's try this. Dip that in there. Yeah, they could work together. Tomato goes very nice with the bread. The sweetness from the brown sugar and the maple. It actually goes very nicely together. This soup is very nice. But it's soup, you know. I'm gonna make a mess eating it. Every time I take a spoonful, it drips on me. All right. Let's try our cereal bar. Nice and soft. I'm not getting any stale smells. All right, let's try that out. Reminds me of an American granola bar, but better. I got a good chew on the oats. There's definitely honey in it. The fruit really brings out nice flavors. I didn't realize how tough it is to eat soup in a review. You're going one spoon at a time. And this is a 300 gram main, so it is a little hard to eat. So excuse me while I get this bowl a little closer. That is good soup. I like how thick it is and the herbs. All right, our raisin and nut mix. Such a great snack. I really, really am taken by the peanuts and nuts that are under roasted. They have such a unique flavor, and it's not thirst provoking. As soon as you think nut mix, I think, wow, where's my water? This is going to make me thirsty. And these at all are not thirst provoking. All right, our caramel hot chocolate. That is pretty good, but I'm not used to having hot chocolate that is caramel flavored. That is really good. In the field, if you're not aware, the British troops are issued mess kits, and they're issued a stove that's similar to a jet boil camping stove. So they wouldn't have any problems warming up any of these meals and making their drinks, hot tea, coffee, or cocoa. In addition to that, they would also probably have access to flameless ration heaters. Now, don't quote me on that because I'm not exactly sure, but I would think in a tactical situation where you can have a flame, they would want to give their troops some way to warm up their meals. So I would think that this would be a possibility. But if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. All right. I'm really liking this coffee. Super strong. This really goes nice with the soup. Something to dunk in. You get the nice tomato flavor, the herbs, and warming this up really does wake up the flavor. You have so much maple and brown sugar filling that really wake up when you actually warm them up. The maple and the cinnamon don't really go too well with the basil tomato, but they don't clash either. So this is definitely doable. Let's get some more of the soup down. The nut raisins are fantastic. Great texture, absolute great flavor, non-thirst provoking. The Bridgeford bread product, that's an American product. If you've seen American MREs, you probably had this before. Pretty good. It's one of the better bread components, and I like that they incorporated it into this British operational ration. Granola bars, they're decent. Quick snack, good energy, good way of getting some fiber, keep you regular in the field. Tomato basil soup, that was fabulous. I'm definitely going to finish this off. The tea, absolutely amazing. Thai Fu tea, great. I'm going to have to see if I could find this tea. This is really good tea. We didn't use our drinks because we'd have literally 6 drinks on the table right now. I'm going to save these, and I will definitely consume them out in the field. These are fantastic drinks. I'm always happy to see British rations. They definitely don't skimp out. One drink I have not yet experienced, cola. I don't know what the fascination is with cola, but after doing some research on it, I found out cola is more accepted than a lemon lime sports drink. So they go with what's more universally accepted. So we'll be on the lookout for a cola flavored, but I'm definitely saving these, and I'm definitely going to consume this. Let's see what our gum looks like. I'm not going to eat it because I still want to finish this up, but we'll just throw it on the tray. And just like our last piece, Two nice pieces. It's not really a candy shell. Great gum base, great flavor. I think this is peppermint. The last one I had was spearmint. And that's everything. All right. Well, that has been the review of a 2012 British 24-hour ration pack in a box. This is the classic menu series. Let me know what you thought about this menu. Let me know what you thought about breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Would you eat this? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Throw it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and be out on the lookout for the winners of the Canadian IMP Menu 11 giveaway. I will see you on the next one. Take care.